Daylight cut through the oppressive darkness, carving into the gap around the only outside door in her cell. It painted 3 bright stripes on the concrete floor and forced Sabrina up from the blessed comfort of sleep. She turned over and the springs on the ex-military cot squeaked in aggressive complaint. The wafer-thin foam mattress provided little protection against the metal that tried, through the night, to slice her to ribbons. Reluctant in its lethargy, her mind swam against the flow, battling the tide of despair, arms pulling, legs kicking, until she finally dragged herself to the surface into wakefulness. Counter to the hopes promised in her dreams, she awoke in the same grimy, dank place in hell, her tiny concrete cell. Each time she moved her hand, the iron manacle that attached the chain to her wrist chafed her skin a little more. The protective cloth she used, a piece torn from the sleeve of her nightshirt, had fallen loose during the night. The wound felt as bad as it looked. It wept blood and a yellow-green pus. Assuming she lived long enough for the wound to heal, it would leave a scar. Sans doute. No doubt. The questions remained. Why had the Colonel kept her alive? He did not usually spare the lives of those he believed worked against him. Ruthlessness had been his modus operandi. Clutching the coiled chain tight to her thigh, Sabrina arched her back and tried to ease the tension that had formed between her shoulder blades. The movement did nothing but allow a biting cramp to attack her muscles. Every part of her body ached, cried out for warmth, the warmth of food, of nourishment. Grit scratched her eyes and scrunched when she ground her teeth. She tried to swallow, but a dry throat made it a near impossibility. All her own fault, such an idiot. As Grand-Père Momo often said, one day arrogance would be the end of her. At some stage during the previous few weeks she had spoken to the wrong person. Greed had turned that person against her. Or maybe the betrayer came from closer to home, but who? Sabrina grunted. Identifying the individual responsible for the treachery would be a challenge for others. As a task, it fell outside her capabilities. At any moment, she expected a member of the Creed to drag her away to her death. Hopefully it would be quick, quicker than the slow death of dehydration or starvation. Why had it taken her so long to discover the cause of the missing inventory? The clues had been there from the very outset, but her clandestine investigation had been blocked at every turn.